Hello everyone. Hope everyone can hear me fine. Hi Suzanne, are you there? Hello. Hi Yogi. Hi Suzanne. Well, hello everyone. It's now 8 o'clock local time, so it's time to start Facebook Live. So before we start on the project, I just like to talk about some Suzanne Cannon social media that you might be interested in. So first of all, Suzanne, she shares all the broadcasts to the Suzanne Cannon fan page. And you can always check this out, the Facebook Live here on Quietfire Design Facebook page or on the Suzanne Cannon fan page. For some blogging inspiration, you can check by Quietfire Creations blogspot. And then there's also the Quietfire Digital. On the Quietfire Digital, it's all projects using Suzanne Cannon's digital die cut files and digital files that you can find on Silhouette and on the Quietfire Design store. And then also you can check out some crafty blog inspiration on the Elizabeth Craft Design blog. On that blog, you can see all of Suzanne's all the projects using Suzanne Cannon product fabricated by Elizabeth Craft. That includes her dies, stamps, and also stencils. You're already here at the Quietfire Design page, and don't forget about the Suzanne Cannon fan group. Make sure you answer the questions when you ask to join. And please, if you have time on Sundays, we'd love to see you participate in the Show Me Sunday. Basically, on Sundays, Suzanne or I will start a blog post in the Suzanne Cannon fan page, and we would love to see what you're working on. It doesn't have to be a completed project like this. It could just be, the start of a card front or a Facebook page or one of her digital projects. We just love to see what you're doing. Feel free to just take a quick snapshot and share it in the comment section. We'd love to see what you do. And there's also a newsletter. It's a great little newsletter. It keeps you updated on new products that are coming out or some crafty inspiration, and then of course too the sales. And on the Quietfire Design store, there's a section now, it's called Leathers Live. So basically any product, like let's say when it says stamps, if you're interested in buying that, you can just go to the Quietfire Design page, the store page, and look for Leathers Live, click on that, and you can see all the product that's been used on prior Facebook Lives. And when you see the prices on the Quietfire Design site, just remember that that's in Canadian. So if you're thinking of ordering from the US dollar is actually better than the Canadian dollar right now. So it's like a great deal when you're buying from US dollars. And just as an FYI, we do a Facebook Live every Thursday. So it's usually Suzanne, sometimes I fill in, and other members of the team might fill in too. So feel free to stop by here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time or 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you can catch out what we do. And also, if you can't make it on Thursday nights, you can also look at the Suzanne's YouTube channel. It has all the previous Facebook Lives and some other videos too, so feel free to check that out. So as you could probably tell from the voice and the hands, this is Kathy Jo. Usually I'm the one that's saying hi to everyone and doing the links, but And then Suzanne's doing the awesome projects. But today we're flipping it, so Suzanne's lovely hands are saying hi to everyone and sharing the links. So thank you, Suzanne, and thank you for stopping by. So let's go ahead and get started with the project. So I'm not really sure what to call this. It's kind of a card crossed with a mini, and it's a sweet little Mother's Day project. So on the outside of this, I have one of Suzanne's stamps. The mothers hold their children's hands for a short while, but their hearts forever. And then you open this up, and another one of her stamps, a mother's greatest masterpiece is her children. You open it up again, and this neat little section pulls out. And so with this little trifold here, I was picturing that this could be used for little photos or little sweet sentiments or more stamps or just pretty papers. And then you also have a face here to put stuff on too. So it's a sweet little project. And what's awesome about this is that it's really easy to put together, and I love easy. So let's talk about what you're going to need for this. So as I said, there's going to be 2 stamps used on this project, and they're from 2 different sets. So the mothers hold their children's hands. That's sold by itself. And then the mother's greatest masterpiece is her children. That actually comes in a set. And one of the other stamps is in it. It's quite cute and cheeky. It's almost a response to this. A mother's greatest masterpiece is her children, and then the other stamp says, just ask them. So that would be really funny to have this on the outside, and then just ask them on the inside, like pictures of the children or the grandchildren. That would be a hoot. I think people would like that. So what else you need for this is you'll need some 12 by 12 pattern paper. And what you want is pattern paper that it's patterned on both sides. So for this project, I'm using the Graphic 45 Time to Flourish paper. It's the May sheet. It has pretty flowers on the outside, and then this pretty purple pattern on the inside. You'll also need some cardstock. I used ivory, pink, and lilac. It's also helpful to have a stamping platform, especially if you decide to make more than one of these. And you'll have to have some, well, what I would suggest is some archival ink, especially on the inside, or a dye ink, so that this way, when this is closed, you don't get, like if you use a water-based ink, it might smudge or smear over time, or transfer onto this side. Now, along the edges, I used the Krylon leafing pen. So on this one, on this project, I use gold. But on the one I'm showing you tonight, I'm going to go with the copper. A paper cutter to cut all your papers. A scoreboard, we're going to use that a couple times today for the outside of the card, and then also for the trifold in the middle. You'll need some different adhesives. Some double-sided tape will be helpful. I'm using the Crafter's Companion runner, and then also some foam tape, and then I'll also use my my glue. You'll need some ribbon. Now, when I made the sample, I thought 18 inches would be enough, but when I tie this, I can't get enough left over here to create a nice bow. So I think I'm gonna go with the 24 inches this time, just to make sure that I have enough room to make a nice pretty bow on the edge here. And then also, if you like, you can keep it as is with just the stamp and the layers there, or on the front, or you can also add some embellishments. It's funny because yesterday when I was finishing this up, before I took the photos, I wanted to put some different flowers on the front, and I couldn't find them. And of course, when I go to get my Archon mount to get this set up for tonight, that's when I found my flowers. So we're going to go with different flowers on the outside today. And I think that's all the materials and tools you'll need. So before we get to the fun part of putting everything together, of course we gotta do the busy work at the beginning, which is getting everything prepped and ready. So first, we're going to cut our pattern paper. And the cool thing about this project is that we're using the whole width of your 12-inch paper, but you can get 3 of the outsides of your card created from one piece of 12 by 12. So in this case, again, I'm using the Time to Flourish paper, and I'm cutting my paper, I'm keeping it to 12, and then I'm cutting it to the 4. So we're going to pull the scoreboard out, and let me make sure that's showing up well there. Okay. It's a big scoreboard. Okay, so it might sound a little weird, the lengths that I'm giving you, but it totally works out fine. So we're going to cut this, or fold this into 3. So I'm going to do my first score at 4, my next score at 8, and make sure you're doing this with the outside facing up. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I keep some thickness there, so that like if I keep it flat, then it'll just be a big, you know, bulge right in the middle of it. But instead I want to have a little bit of a spine there. So I'm just making like 1/8 of an inch spine. So basically I'm doing 3 and 7/8. So if you go to 3 1/4, it's the next one over. And then I'm also going to 8 1/8. So you go to your 8 and then 1 over. Okay, so we're going to just fold this here. Now the cool thing about this paper is, I don't know if Suzanne remembers this, but I was on Suzanne's team for a few years. And after being out for a few years, I decided to go to what was called CHA. Now it's called Creativation. But I went to Anaheim, and that was going to be the first time I met her and Robin and, what was that right there? Yeah, and some, and some other gals from the team. So the first time I met Suzanne, it was the morning after I arrived in. And I was meeting her at the center, and we were taking a Graphic 45 class together. And the class used the Time to Flourish papers. So every time I see Time to Flourish, I think of Suzanne. Okay, so yeah, we did have a blast at CHA that year, Robin. So we've got our little spine, little fold there, so it opens up really sweet. So we have that. So at this point, like on mine, what I did was I kept it plain on the outside, but if you want to put the edging around here, now's a good time to put it on just the outside and just set it aside to dry. Okay, so next we're going to have to cut all of our pattern papers. And again, this is going to sound like a weird size to you, but it definitely works. Again, I chose pink and lilac, and these are going to be cut to 3 5/8 to 3 1/2. And I put the edging on here, and I'll show you what I do. I'm just going to shake it up a little bit. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little groove right in the right at the side of my chisel tip, and that's basically where I'm going to apply it. Oops. If you find that it's not doing a nice smooth edging like that, you just kind of prime it a little bit. There we go. Hi, Judy. Happy to see you there, Judy. So I'm only showing you one. As you can see, I've already done all the other ones. Now this is a little wet when you put this on. Oops. That's that part right there. Okay, so I've got that. And so we're just going to put this aside. And what you're going to need for your card is you're going to need one for the front, one for the back, and one for each of those two panels. Okay, so after we get those prepped, we're going to use some of the stamps. So the ivory pieces, they are cut to 2 3/4, no, sorry, 2 3/4 along the short side and 3 along the long side. And again, what I used is, I think I used an archival ink or StazOn. I can't remember which one I used for this. And if you decide to make more than one of these, I would suggest using your platform and just getting that ready. It's perfect to make sure you get it right every time, and especially if you decide to make 3 of these, and if the kiddos want to help you, then it's a perfect time to pull your platform out. Okay, so after you stamp that, we're going to apply edging again along the outside, and then set those aside to dry. So we have this ready, your a different colored cardstock, and your 2 stamped pieces of ivory, all edged and set aside. And last but not least is that little trifold that comes out of the center. So this is a piece, this was cut from a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. So to cut this, this is, oh, how did I forget the size of this? Oh, I'm sorry, this is 3 5/8 high, and then I kept this at 11. I just cut it directly from the 8.5 by 11. And then after I cut this whole piece, I just cut a 1/2 inch off the end because we're just going to 11. So we have our 3 5/8 by 11 paper, and we're pulling the scoreboard out again. Oops. Okay. So we are scoring at 3.5. Then we're flipping it over and scoring at 7. So 3.5, then flip over, and then do 7. So this is going to leave you with 3 equal parts at 3.5 wide. And then it's, like I said, it's 3 5/8 high. And so we're going to fold these. You can use your bone folder. I just use my nails. That's probably not a good thing to do, but my nails are quite hard, so. And so we have our little Z-fold there. Okay, so now, oh, last but not least, we can't forget our ribbon. And I already cut this. And, hi Pauline, you know what I could do is I could post later what we used on the project, because I know there's a lot to take in with this little project, so I can type that up tomorrow and share that. Okay, so this is 24-inch ribbon. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. So let's start with the inside. And make sure that you have the pattern paper going in the correct direction. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of purple here, or the lilac. Putting one there and one, yep, goes that way, there. And again, these pieces of lilac were 3 5/8 by 3 1/2. Oops. Did it turn the wrong way? Nope, it's right there. So I got that one on there. And when it comes to this fold here, I try to have it so that it folds out this way, because I'm putting the stamp on this side. And so if a mother or grandmother or aunt or whoever has it on display, when it's on like a table or shelf or something, it opens up and says the stamp on this side, and then like if you have pictures or nice little sentiments or something, it's facing the same way as this, instead of it opening up this way and covering that up. Oops. Suzanne would tell me to have a T-square right now. I don't have one available. There we go. It's very difficult to do this with the camera right there. Okay, and then we're going to put Mother's Greatest Masterpiece. Oops, I keep doing that. There we go. And if you decide to use the second or one of the other stamps in the set that says A Mother's Greatest Masterpiece is her children, and then just ask them, it would be really cute and funny right there. Okay, so now we have the inside basically done. This is the skeleton of it. So if you wanted to, you know, put mat and put cardstock there, or photos or pretty pattern paper, you know, you've got 5 panels to do that on. It's very pretty. Now I left this panel as is because I really like this pattern paper, but you could always add something there too. So that's the inside. So now let's go ahead and start the outside. So in order to get this to tie and stay, what I did was I had it so that my ribbon is going underneath my pre-cut cardstock. It's a nice way to secure it. So I take my ribbon. Hi, Sherry. Sherry Holt's watching. I was thinking of you the other day, Sherry. Okay, so that's where I want it. And just do a quick line right there. Okay, so that side's done. And you can just follow the line from the ribbon there and go on with the next one on the back side. Now, you don't have to put anything on this side because this is going to be closed. So when you put the ribbon on, it's going to be the farthest right panel and the middle panel. because you're closing it this way. Okay, and now I'm going to adhere panels on. I think what I'll do is I'll do pink on the back, and maybe purple on the front. What's my other purple? Okay, so I'm doing, oh, there's my purple. I think I'll do purple on the front, since I'm going with pink flowers. Pretty pretty. And then I'll do pink on the back. I can't wait for the rose gold to come out in the Krylon leafy marker, because it looks so pretty with this paper. I think they said that they were going to come out with that this summer, so be prepared to see a whole bunch of projects created using the rose gold. Okay, so now I'm going to take the mothers hold their children's hands. This is dry now, and I also added some double-sided foam tape to the back. Hi Nancy. Hi Andrea. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you got the right side up. Just gonna center that on there. So now we're almost done. Well, first I want to see if the 24 inches for the ribbon works out well. Oh yeah, that is plenty for a bow. And that is not a very nice looking bow. If I had more time, I would make that really pretty. And the final step is to put the flowers on. Might look better. There, I won't put that on yet because I am using liquid adhesive to hold that on, and it's probably going to fall off if I go to open this. But like I showed for my sample yesterday, I put 3 on there with a couple of the pretty gems. So, minus the embellishments. There is our mini card. Isn't that cool? And like once you make one, you're going to want to make more than one, which is good because like I said, you can get 3 from a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the putting the embellishments on. Does anyone have any questions on this project or on anything else? I'd be more than happy to answer them right now while I'm adhering. This would be great for Grandparents' Day and Father's Day too, now that I think of it. Like if you go with, there's a new nautical collection out by Crafter's Companion. It's really nice masculine paper. And use some of the father's stamps or masculine stamps. My dad's birthday is right before Father's Day, and I like to use the stamp, how old would you be if you didn't know? If you didn't know how old you are, I think I'm totally screwing up that quote. It's by Satchel Paige. Anyway, it's quite awesome. Isn't that pretty? So if there's no questions, then I'll just go ahead and close this up. But if you ever do have questions, you know, feel free to just drop me a line, or you know, post something in the Suzanne Cannon fan page. I know someone asked a couple weeks ago about how I made a background on something, so I did a quick little video tutorial on how to do it. I like crafting, and I love I love sharing techniques with people. So you know, don't be afraid. Just feel free to contact me or post a question in the Suzanne Cannon Facebook group, and I'm sure someone would be more than happy to help you. So the project's done. I hope you really liked it. If you decide to make it, feel free to share it on the Facebook page too. I'd love to see your take on it. So thank you for stopping by. Don't forget about the Quietfire on the Quietfire Design, the store online. There's a section called Leathers Live, and that's where all the products that are used on Facebook Live are posted on there, so you can do a quick find on the products that are used. Feel free to stop by Quietfire Creations blogspot, and there's always crafty inspiration with different projects using different Suzanne products. And again, the Suzanne Cannon fan page, we'd love to have you as part of our group, and don't forget to answer the questions, and we'd love to see you there. And oh, and sign up for the newsletter. That's more crafty inspiration. You get to see the new product coming out, and also if there's any cool sales. So, oh, Suzanne put a Mother's Day Mother's stamps on sale today. Yes, thank you, Suzanne. So, thank you very much for stopping by. Have a happy crafty day. Bye.